Hi, I'm Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Some of you may remember this periwinkle quilt behind me, this beautiful antique quilt. We were so excited when we got it, and we went ahead and we made a template for it, and we made the large quilt using the charm pack right here. We made this one right here, this big periwinkle quilt. But I still, in my heart, I wanted to do this little teeny one. So we came up with the tiny periwinkle. It's so adorable. And we also have the tiny little papers. Now it's done exactly the same way, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway, just because it's so cute and so easy. Okay, so to make this quilt, you're going to need this little template. You're going to need a set of these papers. You're going to need a glue stick. You're going to need some background fabric, and you're going to need your pop fabric that's right in the middle that you cut out. Now, because of the size of this template, there are all different kinds, all the pre-cuts will work with this. So you can use a candy right here, and I have a little one cut right here, and you can cut one out of each little square. If you use a charm pack square like this, you can actually get 4 out of each charm pack square. And if you want to do that quick, you could even fold this in half and in half again, making sure all your folds line up. Set this on here and cut out 4 at once. You could also, Sizzix made this awesome template where you can just lay your charm pack on and run it through your die cutting machine, and it'll cut all 4 of those at once. So there's lots of different ways you can do it, but also jelly roll strips are also the perfect size for this. So this is a super versatile little template. So I'm going to use jelly roll strips for this because I have a whole bunch of them. I have a little bin behind my desk that I throw them in, and I thought this would be really fun to do with all these blues and greens. So you just lay it on here so you make sure that all your edges are covered. And you can stack these up and cut a few at a time if you want. And I'm just going to cut out 2 off the end of this jelly roll. And so then you get your little piece like this, and it looks like a little kite. And so that's gonna work for these. So then what you do is you get your paper. So here's my little paper right here. And you get your glue stick, and I'm just going to open my glue stick, and I'm just going to run one glue swipe across there. Other people touch it on the edges of their fabrics. There's no right or wrong way to do that. And you're going to lay one of these on this paper. Now, the most important part about this is matching this up here. You want this part to line up with the paper. So then you're going to take your background fabric, and I've used jelly roll strips. You can get 13 to 14 pieces out of each jelly roll strip, and these are going to be cut 2.5 inches. Our strip is 2.5 inches wide by 3.5 inches long. So I'm going to cut off this fold right here in my salvages because I don't want those. And then I'm going to come over 3.5 inches like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut my whole jelly roll strip that way, 3.5 inches, and just keep cutting. And I'll get a little stack of them. Now you're going to need 2 of these for each little block you do like this. So how you're going to put this together is you are going to lay this edge of your 3.5 inch block right along the edge of your piece right there. And then you're going to sew it on, and you're going to iron it back like that. So I'm going to go over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew this down right here. So we're going to do 1/4 inch on this, and we are just going to sew this down like this. Then I'm going to bring this out right here, and you can iron it back or you can finger press it back. Because I don't like to leave my sewing machine very fast, I will finger press this back with my fingernail, and then I'm going to put this other piece on here. Now again, you're lining it up right on the edge of your template piece, and you're just going to start and sew straight across. So let's do that again. Here we go. And then now I actually will go over to the ironing board and make sure these are pressed nice and flat. I'm going to trim this thread right here. And then I'm coming here to the ironing board. Let me scoot these strips so that you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to, you know, press this on and roll it back and make sure that's nice and flat. So then what you get is this funny shaped piece like this. And what we're going to do with this now is we're going to trim this up, and our paper piece on the back becomes our pattern. So I'm going to lay my ruler right on the paper, and I'm going to trim off these extra pieces right here, and I'll turn this and trim off these pieces right here too, and then this side as well. There we go. Now what you get is a little block that looks like this. And this is just, I mean, it's just adorable. It's so cute. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 of these together like this. And when we put 4 together like this, we're going to get a whole block. Can you see that? Okay, so now we've got this ready to go together. And one of the things I've learned is that it's easy to take the paper off before you sew. So if you just kind of crease this back, it just comes off so easily. And so we've got that one, and these will just go really quickly. Because you've sewn them, it perforates them, and they just peel right off. Like that. One more over here. There we go. And now we just get to sew these together, and they're so nice and easy to work with. So what we're going to do is I'm going to line up, so mine are blue, green, like this. And you sew 2 at a time. So we're going to sew 2 together just like this. And you're going to line these up. You're going to look and make sure that your seams are matching exactly, because you want this edge right here where these come together, right here. You want this right here to match up. So we're just going to lay that on there. We're going to make sure that matches up. And we're going to stick a little pin in there, and we're going to come over here and sew them together. Make sure our sides are lined up all nice. It doesn't really matter what side you start with. You just give it a go. There we are. Now let's press this open. See how we did? Hey, pretty good. Look at that. So we're going to iron that open. Now all we have to do is put these 2 sides together like this. We're going to match up our center seams, and we're going to match up these side seams, and we're just going to sew 1/4 inch straight down that side, and that's going to give us our block. This is one of those blocks that you can just keep readjusting to make sure it stays nice and straight. All right, now we're going to head over to the ironing board and flatten that out. I'm going to go ahead and press that seam down right there. Then I'm going to open this up. And I love my shot of steam. And there we go. So then when you start adding these together, you're just sewing them block after block after block. And it is adorable. So watch this right here. You're going to have a 1/4 inch on either side. So you won't lose your point. You know, it'll just go right on there, and you'll be able to sew those right together, and pretty soon you'll have an awesome looking mini periwinkle quilt just like this. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on our little mini periwinkle quilt by the Missouri Star Quilt Company.